look at this. We've got the increase going on in the market, shipping costs, all because the Suez Canal, right, let's see if I can get to it, right in there is blocked. So ships are having to go around Africa, right? They're having to take the long detour because likely Africa's going to be blocked, or excuse me, the Suez Canal is going to be blocked for over a week, right? We're going to get into that as we start off. Let me just get the tweets out, Facebook sharing, all that good stuff. Let's share it here first. Done. And over here. Oh, no, not there. Here. Close that. Close that. Sorry about the delay. It takes a little bit of time. Done and done. All right. Let's get rocking and rolling. Got some people already watching. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you. All right. Also, we're going to talk about Ripple. Already watching. Thank you. And we will see where this could go, right? Ripple is pretty good likelihood that this will be chosen as that central bank digital currency. So let's check it out. All right. Welcome to everyone that's watching. Don't be shy. Join in on the chat if you have any questions. We will talk about, again, the Suez Canal. First thing I have is the oil charts that are up. So this is our 24-hour chart right here. And when we look back, we turn this into a monthly chart or even a weekly chart. You can see that we just have been in a steady decline, right? Well, maybe the big people of the world decided that they didn't really want to have their money going to sleep. Hey, blind trader, good afternoon. And now we're looking at this and we're saying, all right, it's afternoon here for me. That, hey, they are rebounding this. They are taking it higher, bigger volume. They could be taking it on a breakout move with the Suez Canal. So let's bring this up. Oh, we have the Suez Canal oil tanker is causing tanker shipping rates to nearly double, right? And this is from Al Jazeera. Let's see if can I just go to the top really quickly? Sorry if that made you dizzy. A new attempt to refloat the ship fails. The last that I saw is they've been digging out the front of the ship, and there's a good visual here down below that you can see it really ran aground, right? It's completely blocking. And I'm good, Asif. And so when we look at this, this has been used for 10% of the shipping around the world. How are they going to make it so that it's not stuck? Well, they tried digging it out. That didn't really work. It's still stuck. So now they're talking about removing water, the ballast that keeps it down into the water, even keel, and also removing the containers. But they have to get a crane to this location to be able to remove the containers. So they're going to have to, A, construct the crane, B, they're going to have to take all those containers off. Who knows, are they going to put them on trucks? What's going to happen to those containers? More importantly, they're trying to simply open up the canal, but this is definitely going to take some time. And they're saying that this could happen over the next week. So expect oil prices to rise. Expect, in my opinion, expect the markets to go up because oil prices are rising. However, we might have some news come out that could change the trajectory for banks. I am still bearish on banks overall, even though we're heading up to new highs. So let's look at the indexes. Hello, Asif. How are you today? So this is the volume weighted anchor price from, let's go back to our 24-hour chart here. Volume weighted anchor price from the high right here. We are up above it right now. Where we end up today could be really influential. This is the end of the week. If we look at the weekly chart, are we really up above? No, look, we're breaking. We're still testing this trend line from the bottom. And this trend line was set up from the bottom back in March to October. And now we've broken that down. So when we look at that, the bigger picture, right? The angle of this trend line is 58 degrees. Anything that is higher than 45 typically cannot sustain it for a super long period. We have had this growth happen for 51 bars, almost an entire year, right? 52 would include this week, 364 days since the bottom last March. Interesting, right? Or 12 months, but 52 bars. So we've had it going in the upward trend for 52 weeks. EEIQ and WAFU spiked. Nice, ASIF. I hope you were able to capture some of that. So when we're looking at this, if we close below this orange hash line right here, we have broken that upward trend that has been in effect for the past year. We did test it, right? We tested it back here in the beginning. Actually, this is the weekly. Yeah, that's March 1st that we tested it. And now we're testing it again. So that means that this trend line is likely weaker, right? So it's 5% is better than 0%, ASIF. So now we're watching this. Oh my goodness. If we close below this, we've got some correcting to do, right? Last time that we corrected, it came down here. So that means we could be heading down to roughly 309, talking 82 points. How long did that correction take last time? Let's look at it. That correction down to here took 3 weeks, okay? Now, when we look at it over here, how long did that correction take from the top down? That was longer. That was 14 weeks, right? That was from September to December. It wasn't quite as drastic as last March. But we know that the market can go up and down very quickly depending on who's in control with the big money. That's why we follow the dark pool. So if you guys want to learn more about the dark pools, come on over to thedarkpools.com and we'll educate you all about the dark pools. And I'm feeling, I told you guys, till April 15th, I am really on the sidelines, day trading, that's it, not really swing trading. Putting on some more bearish positions, actually. Yes, we're bouncing, it looks amazing. Hold on, let's go back up here, right? We have this trend line, and if we go to the tops right here, if we could break out from that, potential for this to maybe surge higher, but I don't feel in my gut that this is really going to super surge higher. Hold on, let me just check one more thing over here and see if I see any little sneaky stuff, because sometimes I see some sneaky stuff. Sneaky stuff happens in the market, and if you can decipher the sneaky stuff, then you might know where we're going. So we had a bit of a drawdown yesterday, 385. We're up at this upward bound up here. This lower trend line was set up on the 24-hour chart right here as a high from the past. So here we've got a bit of a descending wedge. We could break out to the upside, or we could break down further and break below the 50 simple moving average on that 24-hour chart. Last time we had that happen, again, we pulled back down here. So we could be looking at 363. If that continues further, we could be looking further down. So let me just check over here. Let me go to today's date. Just checking out to see if I see anything really cool in the prints, as we love to see what's going on in the prints. At least I do. All right, it's taking a little while to load, but no big deal. All right, 391.05. We're above that right now. I'd watch that level for today if we close below it. And let's see where we are from Monday. It's taking a second. So checking this out, Qs have been the weakest, right? And they tested that upper bound. They came back. I've got my fibs on here. Came down to this trend line that was set up in the past. We bounced off of it. So for today, a little bit of a trade to the upside, did not fail completely. So yeah, I'm seeing that we might be heading back down further. We don't really have any news announcements that are coming out today. Last one was at 10 o'clock for the US, and it was higher than expected, consumer sentiment, and then inflation inspection and expectations right in line. Now, really, do you think that these numbers could also be manipulated? That's something to think about as well. Do people know, okay, well, our goods balance at 8:30 was lower. Well, we ended up dropping early this morning on the SPY. Here we go. We dropped on the Qs as well. 7:45, 8:30 right here. And, well, we actually rebounded off of that news. Interesting, right? You would think that maybe that news would cause it to drop. Sell the news, buy the rumor. This case, they actually seem to have bought there. So I'd be watching on the Qs as well if it goes up above this trend line or the 50 simple. But for now, I'm getting a nice short signal on the Qs. Let's look back in time, right? If we look back, it came down here. We're below that gray moving average and just testing that red one. We bounced above it. We're just hanging out around there. Are we going to be able to, let's see, maybe we're going to come back down to 290. We will see where we will go. This could be, you know, a dead cat bounce, and then we roll over and we come down. So we will see. I don't know. I've just got this like pessimistic view on the market lately. It just feels short. It feels short bias to me, and I'm very scared to go long every single time. I'd rather swing it to the downside. That's my thoughts personally. Selling on the pops to the bottom. Your picks are very cool. Oh, thank you, Asif. Dow Jones as well. We are bouncing up, hitting a trend line. This looks like the only one that's really strong, right? It's just giving a long signal, breaking out right here. Let me look and see what I see for Dow Jones. I have to review the top 30 in the Dow Jones as well. I want to do some more research on those companies. So seeing that, yeah, we might be heading back down here, 317, 318 area. So I'd watch it. 10 points to the downside, potentially. We will see. But it's feeling extra awkward, I could say. All right, let's look at cryptos as well. So let's go to the crypto list. We'll do our first our Bitcoins and then Ethereum. So let's check out Bitcoin on the 24-hour chart. So this has been pulling back, bounced off of the 50 simple moving average. Hey, lots of people came in. Are we having a dead cat bounce where this could roll over? Let me see if I can pull up the... we do have some natural disasters that are looking like they might take out the Bitcoin mining. Let's do Bitcoin mining and volcano, right? Here we go, volcano growth. Let's go to news. Iceland volcano erupts for the first time in 6,000 years, right? People flock to Iceland's erupting volcano. But here's it. Benzinga covered this. I should quote Benzinga in it. And you can see that this has had an issue where they are going to potentially, if this volcano continues, it could take out Bitcoin mining in Iceland. It's very energy inefficient. And so this volcano could really wipe out the miners, and then the other ones that are still alive mining could take it over in essence. We also have the Three Gorge Dam in China that could be possibly wiped out. So we're talking about two natural disasters that could take this out and knock out the Bitcoin mining, in which case we could say that this does correct a little bit. When we look at it on the 45-minute chart, I see a bit of an inverted head and shoulders right here, where it's sort of, we've got a cup too, and then it shot up. So if it breaks above 53,000, hey, 50, we might be looking up at 56 as a target to the upside since it's in that upward motion at the moment. And 56 would put us up right here at roughly that 15, a little bit higher, the 20 simple moving average, which sometimes has been acting as a barrier. So I would watch Bitcoin for a move up to 56,000 and a test, and then potentially a drawdown. Ethereum today, Ethereum has a nice little reversal pattern, very nice reversal with the long-legged doji right here, and now moving to the upside. But you do see that it is hitting resistance right here. This area has been resistance and support in the past. I'll make it a solid line, and we'll make it yellow. So you can see, hey, this was support, 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 support. Nope, it flipped to be resistance. So I'd watch that to see if that's going to hold. Aha, look, we just broke above it. Are we going to close this 24-hour candlestick above or below this yellow line? That could be indicative of where we go for Ethereum. All right, Cardano. I know some people are in Cardano as well. So this looks like it might be setting up for a head and shoulders, right? You see here we have the shoulder with high volume. And then we have a head up here. So I'd be watching, are we going to break above 131 with a further breakdown? If we break above, it'll be a failed right shoulder and a bigger move to the upside for Cardano. Otherwise, if I was long, I might look to take off some profits right there. Oh, awesome, Karine. Or is it Karine? Karine or Karen? Hey, Sal, welcome. Oh, I also have to remind you guys, there's a really cool app if you guys believe in homeopathic medicine that I did post about today. And it's all about listening to sound frequencies as well. So check it out. Not that. Oh, and we've got this too about Ripple. We'll cover that. And I've got that as well. So this one. Oh, you know what? I have a link. I'll post the link afterwards and I'll put it down below for like a homeopathic. Also, check this out. This is an article actually from 2003 on my Twitter, Airplane Jane. It's Airplane Jane. That they are using container ships. This is now 18 years ago that they're talking about smuggling people in container ships. Excuse me, in ship containers. There you go. So are they going to find this on that boat in the Suez Canal when they remove all of the containers? Do you guys think that they will find some people in the containers on that ship? Yes or no? Put it in the chat. All right, let's look at Ripple and check out Ripple. So Ripple is moving to the upside. You do? I know, I sadly do. I sadly do believe. So I was teaching, I had a student last night on crypto, a neighbor of mine. We were talking about crypto and I pointed out the resistance points. That, hey, here we are. Came up, look at how it tested this resistance. These yellow lines are whales in the past. Now you might say, Jane, what on earth is a whale? I know, like Mr. Smith, I wish it didn't go on. Unfortunately, I know that these things do happen. And it can be devastating. Like, could you imagine being the person in that container ship, living that life? Kids that have been abducted, you know, disgusting. Phil, you know what? Sorry, not going to post any. All right. So watching this, we're just sort of stair-stepping up between the different resistance and support levels right here. We can get rid of these, in my opinion, because we've already surged up above them. And when we go to these right here, so, oops, oh, it's all right. When I enlarge the picture, you guys can see, hey, these are the whales that have been active today, right? 326, 326, 326. So when we add them up, I can't scroll that up anymore, but we've got 6 million, 7.6 million, 13.6 million that all happened very close to each other. Unknown wallet to Binance, Binance to Kraken, Binance to Binance. I'm looking to see if any of the addresses are the same. This address and this address is the same. Do you see that? So this one, 21 minutes, and then 3 minutes they held it, and look at, they made 62,000 in 3 minutes right there. So it's interesting that they had an unknown wallet to Binance and then Binance to another Binance account. And then is this one, oh, look at that. Binance account to Kraken right here. So cool. It's cool that you can see that these transfers are happening, right? And at what price? So there's money that's definitely being moving around right now. There will be more upside to XRC. Positive news that Japan supports digital currency. Yes, IQ Micro, we'll get to it. I'm just doing I did the indexes. I'm going to do cryptos, and then we'll get into individual stocks as well. Now, this is the one that really caught my eye. Let's see, the next one up here. So I've been tracking the super big whales, right? What do I mean by super big? 67 million, 73 million, 284 million. and 371 million. And so when we see this 371 million, the price comes to this level right here that I put on 55. Hold on. Oh, it didn't go on there. It didn't save it. It's 54 cents. There we go. 54.56.63. So right here, it was 2 days ago. 54.56.63. Everybody say it. 54.56.63. All right. We are above that. You're a lobster, Mr. Smith? It's okay. Soon you'll be a whale. Or is that a crawfish? A lobster or a crawfish? Right? So we are above all of these whales right now, except for this one and this one. I think we might have had one more. Yeah, we have one more up here at 73. And then after that, I'm going to be looking for a target of 94 right off the bat. Once we break out above that, pretty much above this 60 level, I'm going to be saying, hey, we're likely going to take 50 cents on up here. Yeah, me too. I haven't found the site that says the ownership. Like, it doesn't take much to be a big owner in Ripple as far as the number of coins. I think it's something like you only need to have something like 20,000 coins and you are considered a big owner of Ripple. Obviously, there's massive owners that have millions of coins, but those are like sub 1% of the Ripple owners in the world. So even less than 1% of all of the world owns Ripple right now. However, this has a very, very good likelihood of potentially being that central bank digital currency. We have the Bank of Japan that's talking about it, accepting digital currencies. We have the European Union's economic summit that's happened this week talking about digital transformation. We had Fed Powell coming out saying, hey, we have to accept a digital currency. The SEC lawsuit would not be going on if they didn't think that Ripple was something of interest, right? Do you guys believe that? Do you believe that they're investigating Ripple for zero reason, just the lawsuit, or that they might have an ulterior motive to try to confiscate Ripple? Yeah, Mr. Smith. Well, you know what? They are allowed to, they had a trust that was set up to issue out 1 billion every month for 10 years. So they have a trust that's set up to issue it out into the marketplace so that it's not super erratic. Besides, or I should say in the terms of Bitcoin. Bitcoin only has 18 million and Ripple has 100 billion. Enough coins for the entire world to be able to utilize it. It's incredibly fast. It solves a problem. It's a very good likelihood that this could be that digital currency. I think they want to buy Ripple cheaper using bad news and then let it spike. Asif, hey, yeah, we've definitely seen market manipulation. I'm 110% a believer of market manipulation, seeing all the prints that we see in the dark pool. And so looking at XLM for this, also looking at XRP, XLM as well has that potential to move to the upside. Let's go to coin market cap. It's been a lot of fun since I sort of diversified into the crypto market and adding it on. What do you guys think? You guys like it? So let's look at XLM. Can I sort it by filter? So XLM is further down, but look, we have how many total for the world? We have 50 billion total. Only 45% have been released out so far. So this market cap is definitely lower. We're number 14 right now with XLM. Sorry, you guys can't see the stellar signal or logo too. And so this could move further as well, potentially. Calm was founded by one of the former Ripple founders too. Nice. I think potentially we're going to see like maybe 3 or 4 major coins that could be, XLM. Oh, there you go. So I personally own XLM and XRP. And I will be receiving some of the Flare token drop that's coming this quarter, I believe. And they are saying that it will be, as long as you hold on to your Flare coins, you do not sell them, that over the next year that you will be receiving more Flare coins. All right, let's go back to stocks. Enough with crypto, right? You guys like that? Adding and educating you guys about crypto a little bit. All right, so let's look at EEIQ. We'll add on EEIQ here. EEIQ, WAFU. I'll add AMC. I have no problem looking at AMC. I'll analyze it. LTNC. Walter, is this another sub penny? We'll look at my sub penny that I like. Or penny stock. Quanta. That's one that I like. I have on my list. All right. So we're looking at the list for today. It starts off with Bank of America. So Bank of America was a potential to move to the upside today. And you can see I had a bunch of different ones on here. Had a nice move to the upside and then pulled back. I feel like I must have another. Hold on, bear with me 1 second, guys. Canva, no. I feel like I had another window open because it's not showing all of the charts properly. No big deal. TIGR was also a potential one to move to the upside today. However, it has pulled back. I won't even click on that. There we go. So it did drop to the downside today, and that's all right. Still profitable to the downside if you'd shorted this after the breakdown. Awesome trade to the downside. A nice $2.70 to the downside. GameStop today gapping up, and it's been testing this trend line, right? So if we look at the trend line over here, we hit the upper trend line, pulled back, and then it surged, but it only had a small trade above 207. That was my bull area. If we go above this, then a potential long trade. And it came back down, and now this could be heading back up. Maybe it's going to head up to 238 today. NCLH, Norwegian Cruise Lines, also had a big market volume earlier this morning. It has filled the gap to the upside, but it didn't really have much of a trade. A little bit of a downward trade. That's about it. Same thing with Carnival. Carnival bounced up, it rebounded, and then it failed back down. So you can see that this sort of pattern has been happening a lot in the market. We come up, we hit the moving averages, and now we're rolling over. When we start to see it on most of the stocks, it's a bit disconcerting that a lot of these stocks are setting up in the same fashion with this downward turn. Usually I also do the majors, so let's jump to Apple as well. I have Apple. I don't have Apple on my list today. We'll look at Apple and Microsoft and Amazon. Now, there's a chance that we might be hearing some news on Microsoft that could really drop it, right? We know that there was the update that happened, but why? Why was there an update? Maybe there was something that happened that caused them to have to do an update for security purposes. We'll see. So Apple today has pretty much gone sideways the past 2 days. It bounced, it came up, we're hitting those moving averages, ready for another rollover. Let's look at, Apple was on my list, but it had a little bit of a short trade. Let's look at Microsoft. Microsoft is up again today. So we bounced up, pulled back, hit the 20, a bit of a bounce, but we're hitting those moving averages. Maybe we're going to roll over. So the fact that Microsoft is up, it looks very similar to the SPY chart, right? When we look at that SPY chart, we came up, we're hitting a trend line, and now it seems to be slowing down. Volume was up at the top, and now it's slowing down. Let's check out Amazon. Amazon, if we go below 30.09, sayonara, we are dropping down. You can see on the chart right here, we're just sort of going sideways. But if we go below 30.09, we're really going to see this drop down big time. So it came up, hit the moving averages, went sideways for a bit inside this chart. You guys have been following me. You know this. And now it looks as if it's finally ready to drop to the downside. I would wait though end of day to see where we are. Look at how it's just riding the moving averages down, right? It's not really surging up. Okay, we had a gap up early. Hey, let's suck those newer traders in that think that Amazon's going to the moon. And again, let's suck them in, and then we just bring it down. All right, let's look at NEO. NEO was on my short list today. And beautiful short, right? Opened up high, testing that trend line that's been set up for a while now, all the way up here to here. Selling, selling, selling. Pulled back down, retraced, selling. I'd be aiming for 32.71 down here. BABA, I got a notification pre-market that BABA had dropped big time. Sure enough, it did. And now we are back at 22.47. So it had dropped, bounced, and now we're coming back down. Can you guys see? We hit the moving averages, and now we're rolling back over again. Big volume yesterday. And where are we in relation to the volume? Who's going to answer? Where is the price action in relation to the volume? Anyone? We are below all of yesterday's volume. So therefore, I would deduce that to be selling volume. Pop it up to sell more and drop it down. All right, Baidu as well. Chinese sector, very heavily hit, right? Let's look at FXI as well after this to see. So we are breaking down here. Oh, let's get rid of these. These are old. We don't need them on there, but maybe that's going to be a target. 120. I would look for a target down to 120. Was listening but not looking. Doesn't look good though. Yeah, Baidu doesn't look very awesome. Look, as soon as we break below here, 181, likely down to 163, 165 area, and then down to 150s after that. So let's check out FXI because FXI has a lot of Chinese stocks in it and it's not doing as poorly today. I'll have to look and see if there's an ETF that has specifically Baidu and BABA in it. All right, Apple we already looked at. Tesla pulling back again today, right? Do you guys see this pattern coming back again? Does that look like a healthy stock chart? No, does not look like a healthy stock chart. You're not a shorter yet. Okay, Walter, that's okay. You don't have to be. You can still learn and watch, right? So let's look at EEIQ. So EEIQ, yeah, it looks like it IPO'd and then shot up like crazy. Or was it an uplisting? ASIF. No 460 entry for you. And then WAFU. WAFU looks similar, but this was obviously listed prior. And then it looks like maybe news and shot up, hit a high and pulled back to $7 and then shot up right there. So getting in, I would look at the 15-minute chart and I would say, hey, when is this trend change, right? If we're below the 21 EMA, then we break above that 21 EMA. Look at how it flipped to become support right here at 1120, potential entry again to get back into it. I would anticipate it to come back down. Inverted U pattern. Exactly. The U is good for the longs. It's an H for a short. Hello, it's time to short. All right, so AMC, hey, it's like the others. We've come down, we're bouncing up, and we're starting to roll over. As long as it can hold this trend line, it's still in that upward trajectory. But you guys can see, this is sort of that mean reversion, right? So this is the mean that is moving to the upside. We spike up, we come back. We spike up, we come back. Spike up, come back. Do I think this is in spike up mode? No, it looks like it's pulling back down this way. All right, LTNC. This one's for you, Walter. All right, nice LTNC breaking out from the high here. Doesn't say if it's all-time highs. Labor Smart. OTC. Yeah, let's look at this on the all-time chart. Looks like, did this ever have any splits? Whoops. Did this ever have any splits, Walter? So it looks like crazy volume because it broke out. Labor Smart. Interesting. For the past couple of months, it definitely had volume come into it. I would look for this target right here, 0.0695 up there as a target. If it can break, I personally would take off some profit there, and then, oh yeah, no problem. And then I would look for roughly just below 9 cents. And let's check out Quanta. So Quanta I have as a longer term holding, and it is not performing at the moment, but that doesn't mean that it can't perform in the future, right? But we had a nice surge. It ran up to 14, pulled back, had support down here around 5, ran up to 10, pulled back, and it's had a lot of volume coming into it, right? So this day it had big volume coming into it. I'm going to readjust this trend line right here. So this was in the upper bound. You can see how the, let's move this here, and let's move this here. So right here we had this as a lower bound, and then it became a resistance point. So it's cool to see how looks good place to buy on Quanta. Potential, yeah, it's off of this upward trend line right at the moment. We are battling against the moving averages. I would say it'd be a clearer trade above 0.068 cents. Fits your doubler category. Nice. Yeah, this could double for sure. If it came up to the upward bound, you could make almost triple right there on that. All right, do you guys have any other stocks that you would like to check out? Anything else? I will post that link for that cool new app. It's if you've ever done any research about sound waves and how they can heal, it's really much into that in like homeopathic medicine and sound waves and using that to heal your body. So it's pretty cool. I'm very much into homeopathic, naturopathic medicine. So check it out. You can try it free for 2 weeks, and it's worth listening to. You do the analysis and then you listen for 15 minutes, see how you feel. You might feel some amazing things happening. All right, now we look like we're breaking out over here. We broke out of this trend line, likely where the volume is coming in. Right there, we broke the 200 simple moving average. I did it and it really worked. Yeah, it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. PRVB, okay, PRVB. Oh my goodness, I totally lost track of time too, guys. I gotta jump on over to Ticker Talker. So I'm gonna have to run PRVB. It looks like it's hitting a support right at the moment. Looks like maybe that's an H setup really quickly. Yeah, looks like an H setup. Does not look good long and strong to me. All right, have an amazing rest of your day. I will see you on Sunday at 1:30. Carpe Profit.